Manasi, you can on your camera, please.
ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ पृथ्वी शान्ति अंतरिक्ष शान्ति सर्वं शान्तिः अहं ब्रह्मास्मि गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन स्वागत है आप सभी का टू दिस 178th एपिसोड ऑफ आवर Q&A still ticking. Okay, so here we are. So we could see a good number of hands already up. So Hari bhai, let's go back in
Yes,
track.
Manasi. Suma, please unmute yourself.
Pranam Deva. Am I audible?
Not sure it is echoing.
Yes.
I am logged into only one device, so I don't know.
So okay, so now you try.
Okay, so am I audible now?
Yes.
I could hear. Okay. Okay, so I don't know, Deva, maybe you would have explained about this, but I don't remember. Means like I still have a confusion, so I just want to clarify it with you.
Okay.
So when in the Q&A session, when Shiva means when Parvati asked Shiva about the desire and then about the people who are in the world, like how will they cut the desires and how what are then Shiva explains like there are three types of desires, and then the second one is the योग kama, and third one is para kama करके आपने बोला. So योग kama is like it will be going towards the mukti and then they will attain mukti, and para means like oneness. But I really did not get the difference between the second and third, because mukti maybe they will be merging into, right? So what is
Right.
this like how is it different from each
Different
other?
from that. Okay. So mukti and what you call as nirvana. Right. So you have to understand, like, that is the question, right? Okay.
Yes, you did not mention the nirvana or anything. You just mentioned like
Yeah.
para kama.
I'm using this word nirvana because that would make all the sense, because nirvana is a word that is like complete destruction, means there is nothing left out.
Okay.
Okay. So that's what we call as nirvana. So let's understand mukti and then we'll understand what is complete merging into that. Jisko para kehte hain, right? So there was a river, the river ran towards the ocean and it merged into the ocean. So now it got the freedom from being a river. मुक्ति हुआ उसको. किस चीज से मुक्ति हुआ? नदी होने से मुक्ति मिल गया. But what is the essence of it? It's water. Whether it is in river, whether it is in ocean, whether it is raindrop or wherever in the form of water it is there, it will always be the same. उससे उसको मुक्ति मिल सकती है क्या?
It is that so.
No, that's where we are coming in. So when we are talking about mukti, we understand that the river merged into the ocean, उसको नदी होने से मुक्ति मिल गई. जैसे एक मनुष्य को मुक्ति मिल जाना मतलब like they have gone from this realm and they have merged into something. They are free from this birth.
Okay.
Right. Mukti can again be defined into a way that is it really permanent? Because the moment it becomes permanent mukti, it is known as the para mukti or the nirvana that we are speaking of.
Means in mukti also are there different types?
There are.
Okay.
आपको स्कूल से भी मुक्ति मिल गई, let's say, but you again became a teacher in the school. What will you do? क्या आप सही में मुक्त हुए? Yeah, you got a freedom from being a student.
Student, yeah.
But again, you are still back there in the school. So उसी तरीके से the mukti that we speak of, that's why we don't only speak of mukti, we talk about mahanirvan. What is mahanirvan, what is mukti, and so let us clarify that. बहुत simply समझा देता हूँ. So नदी से, so taking that example back, the river got its mukti from its one form of being. But its core cannot change ever. जैसे आत्मा भले ही शरीर बदल देती है, लेकिन परमात्मा और आत्मा में जो समानता है वो कभी नहीं बदल सकता. So what is complete merging into that, जिसको हम निर्वाण कहते हैं, means it never even thinks of itself to be something separate from it. उसका example again goes back to the ocean. The river merged into the ocean, but on the ocean there are still waves. The waves are still trying to say that I am part of you, I am so happy, and it is might be jumping around because it has found its gantavya tak pahunch gaya, means it has reached to its final stage where it feels like happy and it is like jumping like a wave. But when you think that you have reached to the destination and you are happy about that, can you see there is still a barrier between you and that? Or else how can you be happy saying that I have reached?
Yeah.
And what is complete emergence? There is no one to even celebrate because it has already become that one. Then what would it celebrate?
Yeah, उसका example चाहिए exactly.
So the deeper water of the ocean that does not appear as a wave, what would you call that?
Okay. That is the ocean
The
itself.
river has mixed into that and it is no more on the surface. It is no more saying that, oh, I have reached this, I have become that. No, that the one who says that I have become that is no more there. For example, if I put a rock into the water, you can still see, if it's a see-through glass, through that you can see the rock is sitting at the bottom of the water. So you can say, okay, so it has merged into the water, but it will never mix with the water in this. But if I put sugar into that and stir it, after that, what will happen?
It will melt into it.
It will vanish because when you look at it, it is no more there. So what happened? It actually merged into that completely. So in order to understand that, but you can say that about sugar's taste is there, the water becomes tasty and all that. But here in this condition, what I'm trying to say is, there won't be a one to say that I have merged. वो एक भी नहीं बचेगा. इसीलिए that's why we say, like even Buddha used to say that nirvana is a very dangerous word. Because there is no one left to say that he has gotten the mukti or the nirvana there. You can only say, let's say you are standing and there is someone else in front of you. Then you can say, okay, this is me and that is that. But when there is no one, it's all you, then what would you tell? So whom to complain, whom to praise, whom to do the worship, whom to ask. So that is complete emergence. Now again, मुक्ति और एक तरीके की जो होती है, जैसे particularly locus में जाते हैं, like based on their way of worship and devotion to that particular deity, they go to their locus. What happened to them? There are two kinds of things again there. One, जो they have reached to that place, but they are there with the divinity, and when the divinity comes back to the loka again, मतलब धरा आपके ऊपर, means for the prithvi loka, जब वो they come back to do the leela, they again come along with him.
Okay.
We have all heard, right, कि एक बृहत परिवार होता है, like it's a family that you have a call as a family, and there is a bigger family that you don't know even. So here, whenever the leela happens, it's like one complete drama party that we used to call in our childhood, right? एक ड्रामा पार्टी होता है, जहां पे भी ड्रामा होगा वो साथ में जाएंगे. हो सकता है वो रोल चेंज कर ले, because different drama will be different roles, but that party goes on, means there are fixed group of team members, those who go on doing that. तो लोकस में जो जाते हैं, they again come back because वो भगवान के प्रेम में है, they are into love, but love needs two people. Even if you say I love myself, then there is one who is saying and there is one who is actually feeling that, isn't it? So in that case, still that duality is there, but they are so happy with that duality that okay, at least I'm in front of my God, and that's enough for me.
So does it come under Samipya Mukti? Like
yes, it can be. Yes.
Okay.
Because that's how they say, like, I don't need anything. I can sit here. जैसे आप करते हो ना कभी कभी. Let's say you went to a temple, you just saw a deity, and you say, I can sit here throughout the day. मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए. I can just sit here. Even you don't know like how time passed. Even you don't know what hunger happened to you. आपका भूख कहाँ मिट जाता है, आपको नींद नहीं आती, आपको समय कहाँ चला जाता है, कुछ पता नहीं चलता. All that you can see is that is a space of mergence. Yet you know that you are sitting here and you are looking at something. But there are moments, अब कभी कभी ऐसा हुआ होगा, when you are sitting in front of the temple, in the deity, and you are looking at the deity, for some time you are looking and you are adoring the way it is. Then, for a moment, you are not even adoring. You are not even seeing. You are not even, वो वहां नहीं है, आप यहाँ नहीं हो. There is no distance left. It also happens, but it just happens for a fraction of a second or something like that. वो समय में आता है, दिन अचानक आप जाग जाते हो, अच्छा मैं कहाँ चला गया था. You feel like you slept off, but your eyes are wide open. Yes or no? So these are the ways. But the question is, who is deciding this? That I want to sit in front of it, or I just want to merge into it?
Is it not the soul's choosing?
Absolutely. That's what we speak of. That's why we again and again keep on speaking that you are created in the Supreme's image, and the Supreme decides whatever it wants to experience. And based on that, it gets to the lokas or to the complete mergence into the ocean of it.
So those are in that para kama, means like complete emergence. So then they will not be coming back because that
they won't.
They won't.
Because it's like you can break certain things into so many pieces. For example, you can cut down a magnet into pieces. But can you take away any part of it that does not shows the north and south pole?
No.
How thin you cut it?
No.
होगा क्या? नहीं होगा. So what does that mean? Means there is that completely intrinsic हो गया. You cannot separate it from anymore from that. That's nirvana. That's why it is dangerous. Because जिनको लीला करनी है, जिनको लीला खेलनी है, जिनको ये सब प्रलोभन चाहिए, जिनको माया से खेलना है, जिनको प्रभु के लीलाएं देखनी है, उनके लिए मुक्ति चाहिए. डेंजर है. Because how will, that's what a love is, right? वो love क्या, when you love somebody, what do you say? वो बस सामने बैठा रहा, मैं बस देखता रहूं, है ना? वो भक्ति है. That's what we call it as the absolute bhakti that we are speaking of. तो भक्ति हमेशा भगवान को देखने की कोशिश करता है, भगवान को सुनने की कोशिश करता है. This is like whatever you do, I just want to sit there and watch it. वो भक्त है. So what happens? The Bhagwan remains and the Bhakta remains as two different beings and two different entities altogether. But in a case where there is no God, when there is no one even sitting and watching it, and both have merged into one. The greatest example would be Meera. See how long she kept on writing the songs about Krishna, singing the songs about Krishna, creating so many beautiful things about Krishna. And ultimately, finally, what happened? She just merged. Have you heard any song of Meera beyond that? Why? What happened? वो तब तक भक्त थी और उसके बाद विलीन हो गई. Means complete mergence till that time. But can you say like till that time Meera was not with Krishna? You cannot say that because भक्ति ऐसी चीज है जो आपको भगवान के साथ उसी क्षण जोड़ देते. That very moment you get connected with the God. So it's again like how the soul decides its path of going ahead.
So attaining nirvana also it's the same path, but based on the choosing, it goes to either mukti or nirvana. Is it
I'll
something
tell you
like
in a
that?
very simple way.
Mm.
You say enough of all these things.
Mm.
The day you say that, like enough of this, then you don't even think of whether I should go to there or go there or there, whether I would sit there or not, or
Because that was the second question, means that was the question asked by Parvati, like
yes,
those who attain mukti, will they be coming back? So that explanation was, means I couldn't understand that explanation.
okay.
Actually, I was about to ask that question also, but आपने already answered किया like
So
तो
hopefully you got that answer, like what I'm trying to pass on. So now the good thing is until you know that, you can divert or you can deviate or you can choose whichever path shows cases in front of you. But if you have known it in the deeper essence,
yeah,
then what you do? It's absolutely as simple as that. Like now I know what to choose. So in that case, what would you choose?
nirvana only.
That's a dangerous thing. That's what I say.
But that is the ultimate thing. Yeah.
That is actually. So you don't have to even worry about all these things. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Sumaji.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Suma. Revati ji, please unmute yourself.
Where is Revati ji? No, Revati ji is not there at her seat, I believe. So you
Okay.
can go to Deepika ji.
Yeah, Deepika, please unmute yourself.
Pranam Mahadev.
Pranam Deepika.
Pranam Mahadev, you are able to hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. My question is related to Sita Ma. Like, I know you have done a session, entire session, but still I have few things that I still have those questions in my mind. Like, did she actually you said that Krishna is the avatara where he still exhibited like if he knew he was God or he was the incarnation of Paramatma.
Right.
Did Rama and Sita in that avatara, like did both of them actually not have any clue that they were the ultimate, or did they choose to operate from that stage? What is it actually?
Okay.
Because if there is a remembrance that you are the Paramatma itself, there wouldn't be any suffering, right? Like, but it is depicted that Rama was longing for Sita, Sita was longing for Rama. So all that, I was just wondering, Madhav, like, is it because of just the choosing? Like,
you can call it as the drama actually. But here, if you look at the entire case of it, all of that we read is called as the Puranas, right? So the Puranas are written in such a way that anyone can connect with it. Now just think of Sita has been stolen and Ram is sitting and laughing. What would you call that? You won't call that Rama anyways, right? So वो मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम means whatever he is doing, whatever he is showcasing, he is actually creating like a blueprint for the next yugas to follow. So here in case he was sharing that even if he comes here as a god and he loves that person so much that it feels that pain, that's why he took the form of a human in a way that everybody can connect with it, whether it is going to the exile or going through the pain that he went through. So one way, when you ask like, did he not remember that? Then till a certain age, Ram was like a very, very normal boy until he was reminded of all his powers. Major thing was played by Shiva himself, that he used to come and teach him. And then his guru, right, who gave him all the powers. And then when he started realizing that he could remember, like, okay, so this is me. So when you look at all these things, it is absolutely a beautiful way of portraying like what a human goes through in their own lives. Yet in all these things, what does he do? He is displaying that even though I am going through this pain, it looks like I'm crying, but he still remained absolutely composed and calm. Ram कौन है? हमारे हिसाब से, if you ask me who is Ram, I would likely simply say is the one who remains calm and quiet despite everything changing in front of him. He is taking action, but is not agitated or irritated. He is not carried away with that situation. He is reacting it to a certain way, but he has the knowledge of that composer. When even Lakshmana was hit with the arrow, even then also when he was sitting, he was saying, what will happen to my brother? Now you should question, like, if a God who knows himself, why you should cry that sitting there and crying what would happen to my brother? But in that case, have you ever heard Krishna doing that? Ever? Because he clearly declares that मैं ही हूं, so I will take care. So that's the difference between an Ansh avatar and a Purna avatar here, Deepika ji. And when, see, what is called as a Leela? It should have all the essence of life in it, right? So when you see Ram running madly about Sita, I would like to question just before that, why even he ran behind the deer itself? Is it not? So वहां पे वो प्रश्न आएगा तो आपको समझ में आएगा कि ये पूरा लीला है. Ram, who left the kingdom of Ayodhya, do you think it will run behind a golden deer? He didn't have enough gold at his home or what? So यही से पता चलता है कि these are all leelas and they keep on doing this kind of an acting out there so that they create something for the next things to come. वही कहता हूँ ना, they pave a path for everyone to follow kind of thing. And at the same time, teach us that even if you come here, even you are in this world, it is possible to be the divine. Because the only thing that is needed is to be reminded. So, Deepika ji, what's your question now?
Actually, like, this avatars, they have come into place because of whatever shrap or whatever. So once that particular thing is done, still
Okay.
the avatara or that particular yuga didn't end, right?
Okay.
It continued. It continued. Like even after Ravan Samhara, it was like they went back to the kingdom again. Ma Sita was actually exiled, and again the same stage of suffering continued for both of them. Like, I was only wondering, like, at least not like anything wrong or anything, but Krishna Avatara is something joyful, playful, lively, happiness.
No,
Though
Krishna
there
knew
were
how to
so
hide
many
it
things.
better than Ram, I believe.
Okay. Though there were so many things, like you said, right from the birth, someone is trying to actually kill Krishna,
Yeah.
and yet he overcame all that. But there was also some joy-filled life in that. But Ramavatara is something like, whenever we see something or hear something or read something, it only brings immense sadness or sorrow. Probably I am only seeing the negative side, I don't know.
No, it is not negative side.
It
You are seeing means you are able to. I'll tell you what's happening to you. You are actually able to
feels
feel
like I
what he
am
might have
suffering,
gone
or
through. Yes,
yeah, it feels like I am suffering, or if it was me, any time when we hear something, we always think like that, no matter. Like if it was me, how much it would be. Only
that
then I will be able to react usually. So,
that takes.
um, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So that takes an immense effort actually. Like, until and unless you, oh, what do you say? This is what you call as compassion or empathy kind of thing, right? So you actually, whenever you see them, you feel like what all he might have gone through. This is also a phase of bhakti where the bhakt says, why are you going through all this? Allow me to go through that. You can share that with me and I will take a little pain of yours. देखो, भक्त अभी भी भगवान को भगवान नहीं मानता है. It still thinks that it is suffering. Now, do you remember what was answered by Raman Maharshi? That one person went to him and he said, no, he asked like, why are you suffering? We have all the things that can take care of. Why don't you pass on something to me? And then what did Raman Maharshi said? Oh, so you feel the pain because you feel I am the body. And you are suffering because you feel the pain is in the body and you think yourself to be the body. That's why you see the pain in my body now. मतलब तू अपने आप को शरीर मानता है इसलिए शरीर का दर्द जो है तू उसे देख पा रहा है. नाउ दैट्स अ वेरी गुड वे ऑफ कनेक्टिंग टू दैट. बट व्हाट अबाउट ट्रांसेंडिंग दैट इज द नेक्स्ट थिंग. आपने राम के दर्द को देखा क्या? आपने राम को देखा? Why did he took all this pain? For whom did he took all this pain? Can you see? If Ram is the avatar of Vishnu, who might have designed this program altogether? It's all that, right? So it
Yes,
keeps
it is all
on
that.
creating that story in such a way that it will go through all that things. But do you think he was really in pain?
At least at that time, maybe, yeah. I
Right.
thought so. I
So
don't know.
that's what they were displaying, that when a human goes through all these things, how they will react in reality until they realize their true self. और उससे एक सुंदर घटना बता दूं दीपिका जी, you already know that. Did Ravan really took Sita ever? वो तो छाया सीता थी. We all know that before Ravan took that, Ram has already submitted Sita and it was like under the supervision of Agnidev.
Then why did she have to go through that exile, Mahadev? Like,
Then you have to understand, like when I speak of Sita, because that session is pending for the Sunday, right?
yeah.
So in that, all that will be covered.
Okay.
Okay. But now, when
Did
you
she
look at
not
Ram,
remember she was Ma Lakshmi? She obviously did, right? I
that's
mean,
what,
Mahadev, like, no, I just have one, like,
go ahead.
very normal question. Like, you always tell us, like, who are you? Why don't you realize that you are that and all that? So, when they already knew, like, I'm just a normal human being. I'm still struggling to even lead this life that I
Right.
have with this body, and realizing that I am the ultimate. It would take time, but they are the incarnation, and they already knew it. They, to a great extent, they're equipped with everything that they can do, right? So why did Ma Sita suffer in silence when she knew that she is the ultimate power?
If
And
I say the same thing to you, that you are the ultimate power, why are you going through all this suffering? Then what would you tell me?
that's why I gave the disclaimer, Madhav, like, because I'm like totally ignorant of that.
No.
I
Very
have no
good.
clue.
So there is
I
no
have no
problem
clue
in
of
that also. There is no problem with that also. That's what we are trying to learn, right? So with these
Yes.
questions only, we will able to find an answer and transcend that. I'll say you, like, because there was a beautiful in Instagram, there was a quote came, like it was not a quote, it was like kind of a poster. Okay. It was a funny poster that the person made, but for us, it is like an enlightening poster. Okay. So what does the poster says? The poster says, we don't wash our hands. The hands are washing each other. I am just looking at it like an idiot. Okay. So for them, it is just a funny little placard that they created. But what profound thing is there in that? Just check. What he's saying, I don't do anything. It is doing on its own. I am just watching it.
Witnessing.
Right? So when we connect ourselves to this divinity, this worldly realm, then we are becoming like, I am the doer, like washing these hands. But am I really doing all these things? Now, when I come to the story, when you look at Sita and Ram and any other stories that brings super connectivity, like how can God be like this? How can God feel like this? And I say we are lucky that the God feels like that. If it would have a hard rock God, we would have been much more trouble, because if they cannot cry for their beloved, we have been separated, ignored, and it is not ignored, we are ignorant, then when would we go there? So I am happy that he cried. That means there is a possibility that he can even cry for me. There's a possibility that he is compassionate and he might be missing the creation that he has created, and it is far off. It might call it back. So this is way to transcend that. It's just like this. Okay. Let me ask you, why do you feel that Ram was in pain? Because what you saw? Means what it showcased in the series, or whatever was written in the
Yes,
Ramayana.
When we
right?
Probably we just picturize certain things and
Yes.
try to visualize.
Beautifully said. So now think of
what we know from that aspect, we will picturize
Yes.
or visualize. Probably that's the reason I'm
So now
thinking that it's full of suffering. I don't know.
Now think of who wrote the Ramayana?
Valmiki.
Valmiki. And Valmiki was a devotee of Ram or not?
Yeah, he was.
So how would he write about his God when he sees his God in that pain?
Okay.
Can you see the writing is not the condition of Ram, the writing is the condition of the Bhakt who cannot see the pain of his God.
Okay, got it.
So there comes the distinction that they are actually two separate. Might be if Ram wrote the story, then it would have been something different. He might have told you, okay, see, this is what I'm doing, but I'm just doing it. I'm not going through that. He might have written it with a very strong language. But when a bhakt looks at it, let's say a mom looks at its kid and says something about that, she will tell with a lot of compassion, a lot of love towards that. But if I say, okay, let's say your kid is this, how about you? Oh, me, I'm all fine. So here, what we read is the expression of somebody else. And we are reading whatever they felt, the way they were able to connect. Now look at you, like when you say, I feel so like, I feel like, why so much of pain? And there are people, those who really feel that pain. There is something called as the Sakhi Sampradaya, right? The Sakhi Sampradaya does that. They absolutely feel like what the pain the divinity would have gone. That's why they dress up themselves like that and they go through that. But the question is, would you like to see the pain of Ram or the Ram that is beyond that?
Definitely, we want to see the true self of Ram.
Because now, if you would have written the Ramayana, how would you have written? If you feel the pain towards it, you will write in the same way. But ask me, I would have written a very different way. It's again a perspective how it was brought. Lekin, I don't say that it is not the condition what has been written. I'm not saying even that. I say it's like an emotion of a devotee who is absolutely immersed in the love of that divine. And now think of, वो कहते हैं कि राम के चरण इतने कोमल थे कि फूल से भी उनके पैरों में दर्द होता, तो इसलिए सीता आगे आगे चलती थी. That's what it is said, right?
Yes.
Now, how can be he so soft that even flowers can hurt his feet? Now, if you think like your God is like that, oh my God, your feet are so, how can you walk on this ground? Yes or no? So that's a feeling of a devotee who is completely devoted towards the Ram. Then there is one more devotee of Ram. You have heard it, like when Lakshmana was hit with the arrow, what did Hanuman say? Hanuman said, I am going to bring the solution. If I don't bring the solution, I will stop the sun out there so that it does not goes off. If needed, I will go and even squeeze the entire Som, that is Chandrama, because it has the Amrita in it, and I will bring it back and put it into the mouth of Lakshmana so that he becomes Amar. Can you see another kind of bhakta? Now think of if Hanuman wrote that Ramayana, the one that he threw away into the water anyways. We all know that. Now think of why did, when Valmiki read the Ramayana of Hanuman, why was he sad? Have you heard that or not? Kabhi पूछना.
Yes. Yes.
They will, because Hanuman was writing on the banana leaf, right? Wahi tha na? Am I correct? So Hanuman was writing the entire Ramayana on banana leaf, and when Valmiki read that, he said, nobody is going to read my Ramayana. Now think of a devotee who says, I don't care. Whatever happens, I'm going to take care of it. What kind of Ramayana he must have written? शायद वो रामायण अगर आप पढ़ते तो आप कहते खाली मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम नहीं, युद्ध कला में भी जो he was the master in that fighting and he was the perfect kshatriya out there. तब क्या कहते हैं? The Ramayana would have been changed. Is it not? So it is the perspective, it is the pain that you feel. Now you can become Valmiki and feel the pain. There is no wrong in that. It's connecting with the divinity, the easiest possible way that you can connect. And at times, what we do, we connect with that aspect of the divinity, which aspect we go through in our own lives. For example, if I ask you, I have asked people to share about like what is their conversation with Sita, and let's come up. What do you think? What could be the most common question that must have been asked? Why did she go through the exile? Why did she go through the fire twice? Why was she left over despite all these things? Don't you think these will be the most common questions that will become again and again? But no one asked this question, how beautiful Sita would be. How Sita would have managed this entire thing without even dropping a, sweat. How her belief was not shaken. Even the Ram sent her out, she still continued to have that faith. If she did not continue to have the faith, why did she told the entire charitra of Ram? Why did she teach her kids about him?
Yeah.
So can you see, we miss out on certain aspects of it. That is actually the major part of it. But only we remember the events in that. Just like when we look at our entire life, we only remember few events of our lives, not the life in entirety. Now, if you look at the entirety of our life, how many bad days were there and how many good days were there? You would find that, okay.
Actually, I was trying to find, I was trying to think of this also, Mahadev. Like,
Okay.
During the 14 years, 13 years she was with Lord Ram.
Yes.
Only that. And remaining part of her life,
Can you see? That's
she was
why
actually longing for him.
I believe like Sudhaji asked this question. कि जो दुख की बातें हैं उसको इतना लंबा करके लिखा, it has been written pages after pages and pages, but the 13 years, oh, so she was with Ram for 13 years.
No, I don't mean that, Mahadev, but
No, that's how it is. It is written. That's what I'm saying, Deepika ji. There is no mention of much of those times. Because whenever जब एक काव्य लिखा जाता है या कोई पुराण लिखा जाता है, it is written keeping people in mind that what they will go through, and in this entirety of the journey, what did you learn? Finally, Ram got back Sita. And at the end, Sita left her body first before Ram. Yes or no? In
Yes.
our culture, what does every woman has a desire?
To leave before her.
What do you say about that? Can you see? These are all done as per the norms of the society. When we say that, so the world has become like this now. No, but in Ram's age also people were like that only. Or else, why are there descriptions of demons? Why are there description of Surpanekha? Why there is a description of all these things that was happening out there? So that means yugas change, but things remain. And every yuga comes with a new way of teaching things. And now in this yuga, whatever Ramayana you are reading, that is the latest one that you are reading, right? Now, if given a chance, you have to describe Ram, what would you do? How do you describe it? So, a big question. It depends on how you connect with Ram. अगर आप राजा राम के साथ कनेक्ट कर पाते हो, the one who is the king, you will write like, oh, he was a great king. उसके युग को राम राज्य कहते थे. If you connect with Ram as a tapasvi, and then he became a raja. So, है ना, in Hanuman Chalisa itself there is a tapasvi raja.
Tapasvi Raja.
Right? जिनके काज सकल तुम साजा. So when you look at that, so in that particular frame, it is saying that he is not only a Kshatriya, but a one who has meditated and became the king. So a responsible person. Then when you just look at the Ram who was in sorrow, then you will write about a Ram who exactly feels like all of us. And then you would see a Ram who goes and fights for his family. So, जैसे कहते हैं ना कि किस राम की बात कर रहे हैं आप? एक राम दशरथ का बेटा, एक राम घट घट में बैठा, एक राम का सकल पसारा, एक राम है जग से न्यारा. So which Ram are we speaking of? So can you see, it's the same definition goes after different ways of it. So the way we connect with that, the way we want to see that. So my entire, if I have to say you something, I would say, not only see the pain of Ram, you see how gracefully he overcame that. How gracefully everything was taken care, because he knew, he did not only knew that he was the divine, he knew that it is drama. For us, it is pretty difficult to say that we are the divine, but at least we can call whatever happening in front of us as drama. So where to start? Because I surely know, if any one of you is given the chance to write Ramayana, you would write a very different one. And moreover, Deepika, you know what will happen? That Ramayana will depict more of your life than life of Ram. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Because we understand things through our experiences. And when I write, what do I write? I write my experiences. Is it not? So is Ram really sad? That's where the truth of Ram appears.
This is the question I have asked you, like in the very beginning I met you, actually. Like people keep reading so many books, so many scriptures and all that. But I have always this question, like anyone who is writing it are writing it from their perspective.
Yes.
So how to actually know the facts by reading somebody else's opinions or somebody else's experience of it is like, That's my.
Okay. So, praman jo kehte hain na, like how to know that whether the scripture is right or not, or that it is correct or not, right? There are 4 ways. Yeah, when you are saying that, like you are asking the question, like if it was their perspective, did they write it correctly? Why we accept them as to be right is because they are the ones, those who have experienced it firsthand. For us, it is a distant story. So what could be the closest for us? The one who has experienced it. For example, there is a movie in the theater. I have not gone to the theater. I cannot go to the theater. And there is someone who went to the movie and came back. And now he narrates you the story. What is the closest for you?
Like
Right?
whatever I heard.
Right.
Yeah,
So that's how we can connect. Even though, क्या कोई भी कहानी से आप सच में राम को जान सकते हो?
नहीं,
कोई भी,
definitely not.
whatever has been written, can you really know that? Because it is not just a simple name. It encompasses everything within it. So how can that be written in few pages? But what did they do? The closest that we can do. The closest we can go. The closest we can. It's just like if I show you, like I always keep on saying, if I show you that, oh, so look there. I'm pointing to the moon, but people are stuck to the finger, saying that, oh, what is this? Oh, there is a ring in your finger. Oh, the nails are good here. Oh, no, it's showing there somewhere else. So Ram's indication in the Ramayana is just like that. They are indicating that, look, there is Ram. But this indication is done by someone who has experienced it. So we accept it because we were not there. But what they wrote, how benevolent they could have been, just think of. अगर वो नहीं लिखते तो शायद हम आज राम कौन है भी नहीं जान पाते शायद. So if they have done that, that's why we are so grateful. इसीलिए उनको सब संत कहते हैं. Like, they never did anything for their own self. They did it for the entirety of the humanity. और बताओ दीपिका जी, if every Yuga Ramayana would have been written, means how many times Ramayana has already happened. If every time it was written and is available to us, then what would happen? आपको याद है ना, the ring of Ram? What does that indicate? तो जितने अंगुठियां, like how many rings have fallen, that many Ramayans have happened, and that many times Ramayana must have been written.
Yes.
So हमको इतने रामायण जानते हैं. So now, one way to really understand Ramayana is you listen to that. That's why I gave you the task that आज तक बहुत पढ़ लिए. You have read it. You have heard of others saying it. Why don't you make it your own experience? How would you do your own experience? Just like Valmiki did. He was not sitting and said, okay, Ram, what are you going to do next? Okay, so let me write. Was he doing that? No. He was sitting somewhere else. Right? And he just closed his eyes and he's seeing, and somebody else is writing. Who was writing it?
I don't know.
So when all these things were done, Deepika ji, it is like completely merging into that and seeing that with your closed eyes, not with your open eyes. Why can't we experience Ram that way? And that's where I say the beautiful answers that have come through all these beautiful souls. So I truly say, no, I would not have told it in a better way, the way they have brought it out. When I'm reading that, I say, oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. I have never thought it in this way. Fortunately, unfortunately, very few have shared. But whatever was shared, it's worth speaking of. And that's what I'm going to speak. We are not going to read about Sita in a way that was somebody wrote. No, somebody experienced here right now in this group. That's how we are going to read that, and that will bring a beautiful image of Sita. And such mein, Deepika ji, there are certain things like the moment I read it, I said, wow. So that's what is coming this Sunday morning anyways. Okay. So now go write your own way. What kind of Ram it would be if it was your creation and it was your world? It's powerful.
So,
Yeah, Deepika ji.
so every yuga, like we have only 4, right? But there are 10 avatars. Like, how did he decide, like, in this avatara only this, in this yuga only this avatara, like that? Like, and also, like, once his incarnation ends, like that particular avatar ends, the yuga did not end, no Mahadev, it still continues.
Yes.
Like, which was designed first? His reincarnation was designed first, or these yugas were designed first? Like, what exactly was it?
It's just like that. See,
I had
it's like narrating a story. So before even the stage is set, the story is written. Before the story is written, the story is conceptualized.
Right.
So who conceptualized all this story? Because once this is done, then it was decided, like the moment the story was written, the characters were defined. The characters were defined, then the stage was set. And once the stage was set, the character did the drama on it. Yatha pinde tatha brahmande. The way it happens here is exactly the way it unfolds. Do you really know, Deepika ji, if I say like it might be tough for people to even grasp it? You actually do all your work just like God. That's why all his leelas, if you go and see, it just looks like yours. है नहीं? कभी कभी हम कृष्ण की तरह चतुराई दिखाते हैं, तो कभी कभी राम की तरह कहते अरे सीता सीता. And that's why we keep on changing our roles in so many ways. And when you ask, like, yugas are 4, how did he took so many births? Evolution.
This is just, I don't know. Evolution. Okay. So why didn't the yuga end with his avatar?
Have you seen, Deepika ji, like there are certain Ansh avatars, those who have appeared together at the same time.
Like
Ram
Parashuram.
and Parshuram.
Yeah.
They both appeared in the same time. Even Parshuram is still there in Krishna's place also. Right? So what avatar is that is still continuing to be here? So if you really dive into like how the planning was done, then you will need Shiva to describe it. And Shiva describes it in the most proficient, efficient way.
That's why I'm asking you.
So for that, we have to entirely narrate how things happen. Okay. So for Sita, anyways, this Sunday we will talk about her. And majority of the part people have helped me, I just have to narrate it. मतलब जैसे वाल्मीकि जी ने लिख दिया और हम सब पढ़ लेते हैं, तो मेरे लिए आसान कर दिए हैं सब. So they have already written, I just read it, I said wow, for the first time. और उसमें थोड़े थोड़े दोहे लिखे हुए हैं, so मुझे ढूंढना भी नहीं पड़ेगा. So that's how it is.
So Mahadev, who writes it, which gets carried forward to the future generations? All that is also his divine plan, isn't it?
Yes. Now, who becomes that? Like who chooses to play that role? Based on that, देखो ये कहते हैं ना कि ना if you keep on doing the sadhana, then you, जो हम अभी बात करते हैं, you goes to different kind of lokas, right? You keep on doing that, and in that way, even when the drama again comes, the leela begins again, there that character remains the same, but the one who played it changes.
Yes, Mahadev.
Except the condition, the divinity himself means the Ansh avatar of Vishnu, that does not change. All the other surroundings will change. It's okay. What's your question? Because if I go into that, I will speak for the whole night on it.
Please do, Mahadev.
No. So for that, we have to decide a particular night, then we can speak of.
So it's like everything is predetermined, like designed by him. So he is choosing this has to be taken forward to the generations in this particular yuga, like in this, like in the numerous avatars that he has taken, like the Rama avatar itself, like all those times that he has come, all those times that we have come. So he has chosen that this particular story has to go into people. Is that what?
Absolutely.
Am I right? I'm
Yes.
asking.
Absolutely, because that's how it goes on.
So my simple question is, now we see so many posts on Instagram or YouTube or the movies that the people make. Why is he allowing all that to happen when there are certain things that are not that are not his facts or something that are being spread or whatever, Madhav? Like, because most of the ignorant people like me, like what I watch or what I read, I would believe in that probably.
Right.
Like you said, whoever watched the movie, that person is a reference for you. So just like that, we are. So how do we decide this person
No.
is right, what he's telling is right, or this person is wrong, what he's telling is wrong? So if it was all God's plan, why did he create multiple things and put us in a dilemma? Like, okay, now you choose which is right and which is wrong or which you want to follow. Like, how do we know?
What would you call Maya to be?
That's a simple, straightforward answer, which I will never be able to understand, Mahadev.
Okay.
Like,
so let me tell you a better answer than that. Because that's how the illusion, what you call as. If there is no illusion and delusion, you will never forget who you are actually. So coming back to this question, because recently someone shared with me a particular reel asking me whether this is right or wrong. Is whatever is being told. Because now everybody comes up with a new mantra. Everybody comes with a mantra created by them. The one are speaking on the screen who have never even sat 2 minutes in closed eyes. अगर उनको बोलो 2 मिनट आंख बंद करके बैठे तो शायद वहां से भाग जाए. They are talking about gods. So can I say why this is allowed? No, that is the part of the yoga. Okay, but now let me tell you how we are going to change that. I don't know what the world is doing, but what is there in my hand and what we can do is something that I'm planning on. By looking at that, it was talking about something as, you know what he did? He was saying Soham. We all know, like Soham is the way of meditation, like the breath pattern, Soham, Soham. And he says, this is part of this Soham is actually given by Shiva in 111 ways in the Tantras. अच्छा, कौन सा किताब में 111 है पहले बताओ. There is one called as विज्ञान भैरव तंत्र in which there are 112 paths. उसको उतना भी नहीं पता है. Now he is connecting that Swara Vigyan, part of Swara Vigyan as what you call as Soham, which is a breath pattern with the pattern provided by Shiva, and he says Shiva has given 111 ways to do Soham. Now, what would you call all these things? And don't worry, there are 1 million plus views in it.
So that is what is my question, Madhav. Like all the innocent
don't
people
even
are
know the definition. So the answer is very simple. Don't believe everything. But Is it really possible? Because at times they create it in with so much of noise in it and so much of dramatization in that. आज मैं आपको एक मंत्र देने जा रहा हूं, वो मंत्र आप अगर एक बार सुन लिए तो आपका जीवन, हाँ भाई, तेरा खुद का तो नहीं बदला अभी तक. If you realize that, why are you sitting on a podcast? Okay, so not going into the world. Let me answer you how we can correct that. That is the reason. There are actually few things that happened altogether, and now I'm going to change even the way we are doing all these sadhanas. We are going to absolutely change the way all the things are being done. Why? Because if I don't speak, then all these things will continue to happen. There should be people, those who know. आपको लोगों को देख के पता नहीं चलता दीपिका जी whether it is really the truth or not. उतना तो है sense हम में.
Yes, Mahadev. Certain things we do understand, but there are certain innocent people who can't judge them.
Yes, for them, what is the reason to have somebody who knows? What is the reason? ये गुरु परंपरा के बारे में इतना क्यों बात किया जाता है? Because परंपरा से जो आता है means the one who is coming from a lineage, they have actually studied that, they have come through that and said they know it. And it does not stop a new yogi to appear. I don't deny that. But a new yogi who comes and speaks, when somebody speaks the truth will never allow you to feel fearful. That's the first instant itself. And I have been keeping on saying to this, if somebody is trying to create a fear within you, that is not the truth. Because truth should not bind you, truth should liberate you.
Liberate.
Why should I sit here and say, तुम्हें पता है भैरव ऐसा होता है, अगर तुमने भैरव की साधना कर दी तुम्हारे घर में. Why should I tell all that? Okay, so coming back, what we are going to do is, it might be very, very typical way of doing that, but I think like this is how we are going to do. Whenever I am going to see anything wrongly told, I will take the same topic and talk to all of you what is right in it.
Okay.
At least that's what I can do.
Yeah.
So whenever, this is what I have committed. कि मेरी कोशिश यही रहेगी, I will not correct everyone, but whatever comes in my notice and I see that it is wrong. मैंने कहा था ना कि somebody is saying this is Parvati Lakshmi's mantra. Parvati Lakshmi मंत्र क्या होता है? And when you hear that, that is actually a Yakshini's mantra. और उसको कह रहा है, और उस यक्षिणी मंत्र में भी 2 वर्ड खुद के डाल दिए. Why? So that it feels like it has a great impact on that. क्योंकि हम जब फट स्वाहा ये सब लगाते तो लोगों को लगता है कि मंत्र बड़ा तीव्र है. But you don't know what it will do, because mantras are vibrational frequencies. Just like science says, everything continues to remain in the same state until and unless an external force is applied to that. That's what physics talks about.
Yes.
So let's say you are taking something, like there is a hot pan that is absolutely heated up. Now, if you pour water on that, what would happen? Fire. It will burn, that water will burn like fire. Yes or no? Have you seen that? When it is too hot, you put the water, it suddenly catches up more fire instead of going down. Now just think of somebody is having a problem with the balancing of the chakras, and somebody gave a mantra and he used that and it impacted in a different way. Won't you think that person will go mad? So that's what I say. Before even believing, go back, check the background once. Check what it is being doing. And so whatever we can do, we will do. So if I see anything wrong, I will bring it to your notice and I say that, okay, this particular mantra is wrong. This particular thing that is being told is wrong. And that I can do. And if you get somewhere and you get confused with certain thing, ask. But don't go and watch every reel and send it to me and say, what is this?
No, I don't.
No, I know every 30 second, every 7 second, the reel changes, and if you have once searched or watched a video of somebody on the podcast, similar things will keep on popping up throughout the day.
Yeah.
So when you really think like, okay, so you are able to connect, but you really want to see whether it is right or wrong. वो चीजें पूछ सकते हो आप मुझे. I will help you with that part at least. Okay. And if I don't know, I will say I don't know about it.
Okay. The one last one, sorry. Actually, when we went for the Hanuman Pratisthapana that happened like in the temple, that priest was telling that you should not call Anjaneya as Hanuman. You can say Hanuma, but not Hanuman. That means something else. He actually gave a different kind of meaning. There were around almost 500 people listening to that. I don't know how many were listening to it over live. There will be certain things like that, and we don't even know whether it is right, wrong. We have you where we can go and ask. But other people who are listening, they may not be they may be following a guru sampradaya or whatever, but they may not be having a person who can who they can approach and really clarify it or something like that. So when they say certain things, because of that thing, I actually asked this question. Like, people say so many things. How do we know whether it is right, wrong, or all that? Actually, the kind of explanation he gave, I remembered till I connected this session. After that, I totally forgot after seeing you.
Okay, no problem. You remember that, you can write it down. You can just write it down and send it to me if you are able to recall that. Okay. देखो, there are few ways to verify certain things. एक है वेद प्रमाण, एक है मुनि प्रमाण, तीसरा है एक्सपीरियंस. वेद प्रमाण क्या है? वेदों को झुटलाया नहीं जा सकता, because Vedas have been written in such a form that you cannot manipulate them. The moment you start trying even manipulating the Vedas, you yourself will manipulate yourself so much that you will forget what you are doing. So Vedas are that potent that I call. You cannot manipulate the Vedas. You can manipulate the Puranas because there is a story form. You can tell, okay, so Sita was not here, Sita was there. But you cannot manipulate the Vedas. तो वेद प्रमाण, वेद में क्या कहा गया है? वेदों में सारे चीजों का हिंट है. Whatever, it is like the ultimate blueprint of whatever has happened beyond that. That's why we call those as the nigamas. Because agamas, whichever came directly from Shiva, those became the agamas. Whatever was passed on by Shiva and written by others, it became the nigamas. So Ved जो है वो निगम है, लेकिन क्योंकि directly it has come from Shiva's mouth and it has been taken care by the main rishis, that goes as the pramana itself. So Ved में क्या लिखा है उसके बारे में? I have given you example of, like, there was a lot of fight going on about the Hanuman Chalisa itself, right? I gave you like what it means, how it is not that what it is being written. What is the truth about that? So Ved Praman होते हैं. दूसरा होता है Muni Praman, means the one who wrote it.
Okay.
The one who wrote it, and after that has there been changes? क्योंकि टिप्पणियां लिखी जाती है, means somebody has written about that, then somebody came and they just wrote very, very small epithets about that. So when an epithet has been written, that becomes like the experience of the person who is writing the epithet. उसके अंडरस्टैंडिंग के हिसाब से उसने लिखा है. तब क्या किया जाए? आपके खुद का एक्सपीरियंस. For example, let's say there is a mantra. I want to really verify whether this mantra works or not. Now what do? You continue your sadhana and now you sit and start doing the mantra. When you do the mantra, whether it is creating an impact on you in the right way or wrong way, that becomes your experience. There, another way where you can say that this is right or wrong. And the most important, easier way, Guru Pramana. The one who might have experienced that, the one who knows about it, asking. It's just like that, referring to a dictionary. It's just like that, because what would you call a guru? He's just a dictionary. He knows few words more than you. That's it. Might be his experience is huge. He has known all the words. And you ask a question and you see whether that word is correct or not.
I can't completely agree on this, Mahadev.
No, that's
Not
what I'm
you, I
saying.
guess. You know everything and yeah.
So
Okay, ma'am. Thank you,
that's how it
Mahadev.
is.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So thank you, Deepika ji.
Thank you, Deepika.
Thank you, Anna.
Revati ji, please unmute yourself.
Pranam Mahadev.
Pranam.
Everybody has very serious and advanced questions. I have a very foolish question. So
Very good. Most welcome.
let me just ask and finish it. So um, डेटीज को नजर लगती है क्या?
Oh my goodness. Why not? जगन्नाथ जी को तो अभी लगी हुई है, अभी भी बुखार में है.
Because I feel that when I keep looking at my deities in the house and the temple, I myself feel sometimes, oh my God, why am I staring at them?
Wow.
कुछ
That's
नजर ना लगे
beautiful.
उनको.
That's a beautiful, वो भाव कहते हैं उसे.
कुछ ऐसा
Means
होता है
you
क्या?
truly believe your God to be living with you and you
Yeah.
also feel like अरे अरे जब ऐसा लगे तो एक काम करना लेके लगा देना थोड़ा काला टीका. और what would you do? If you feel
सच्ची
like
में.
it is there, just like what we do to Jagannath, Lord
In
Jagannath.
Bengalis we do thu 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 like that. So
हाँ,
I keep doing like that.
तो बेचारा उसके ऊपर मत करना, इसीलिए मैंने
नहीं,
वो नहीं
उसके
बता
ऊपर
के
नहीं,
ये
बाजू में, बाजू में, बाजू में. No, but I mean, it's foolish, but I'm seriously asking
No,
also.
it is not foolish. It has been proven so many times through so many stories. Actually, that what do you say? ऐसा हुआ है.
अपनी
It has
नजर,
happened.
मतलब मेरे भगवान को अपनी
बिल्कुल.
नजर.
क्यों नहीं लगेगी?
Like they say in Bengalis, in Bengal में a mother is not supposed to attend a son's wedding because
हाँ,
नजर.
नजर लग जाती है. But
So
we saw the mother was dancing actually.
this mother is this mother is different. So what to do?
Okay.
So the children fought for this mother's presence at the wedding. So against everybody, and they said mother has to be present. So yeah, so ऐसा कुछ नहीं ना, मतलब
मैं आपको
everything.
बताता हूँ. Your God appears in front of you the way you want it to be. If you really want, you feel like he is actually living in your home. Don't you think he would keep that simple request of yours कि अरे रे तुझको नजर लग जाएगी, वो बोलेगा हाँ मुझे नजर लग गई है.
Yeah.
That's what we call that. That's what the power of bhakti is all about.
Like they're family members, no?
Yes. Do you? Okay, so let me narrate a very simple story for that. A very, very simple story. One, yes, ये कहानी मैंने बहुत दिन पहले कही थी. Like it's been years I have spoken this. So one fine day there was two what do you say that, like milkmaids. Milkmaid वो डब्बा नहीं होता. Those ladies are also called milkmaids. Okay, because the moment I say milkmaid, everybody thinks of that dabba only. No, I'm not talking about that. The people who carry milk, they are also called as milkmaids. Okay. So it's a story of two milkmaids, like in the olden days, like they have not studied any of the scriptures, they have not studied any of the things. They don't know anything. They're what you call them as like innocent beings. So one fine day they went to sell the milk and curd and ghee, and it was done. It was afternoon time. So they thought like, okay, so we'll take rest, have the food, and then we will go ahead with our work. So what they chose is they chose near a river. So the moment they came near the river, they sat and they were about to have the food. A saint was there. A saint came and he said, can I keep all these things with you? And I just want to take the shower, like a bath in the river. I would take the bath. Would you just keep all these things along with you? So they said, yeah, most welcome. And you can come and join us for food also after that. It would be a great honor. We will be waiting for you. And the saint went for taking the bath. Now, among these two, there is always a mischievous one. Right? When you are with two people, one will be more mischievous than the other by default. So here one was the mischievous one, and she says, okay, why this saint asked us to look after all these belongings? ऐसा क्या है उसमें? संत आदमी है, कुछ भी तो नहीं होता हमको. Why should we do all these things? And before that, what the saint says, do everything but don't open my bag. Now, the moment it is said, don't do this, your mind absolutely runs towards that. It does not needs any trigger. It does not needs any power. It simply runs towards that. Yes or no? रेवती जी, उस तरफ मत देखना. द मोमेंट ऐसे उस तरफ मत देखना, किस तरफ नहीं देखना, तब तक ऑलरेडी देख चुके हो. So that's how it happens. So he said, like, okay, don't look into my belongings. So I'll just go bathe. So dusri, like the mischievous one says, there must be something he's hiding. So let's see what is there. He says, no. He said no to it. No. What happens? We'll just see. We're not stealing anything anyways. We're just watching. We're just looking. And seeing is not stealing. So they said, okay, fine, let's see. So when they opened that, they found a box. And when they opened the box, what they saw is a Bal Gopal. Laddu Gopal hota hai na? So he's just bending like this with a hand like this. So these two are looking at it and he says, oh. He has kept him in this small little box. His legs are bent already. It has hands are bent and he's asking, please help me. Now think of a person who does not know how Krishna's Bal avatar would look like, okay, Laddu Gopal would look like, and they say, अरे डब्बे में बंद करके रख दिया बेचारे को, देखो हाथ पैर मुड़ गए उसके. His hands and feet have been bent. What should we do? The mischievous one says, okay, that fellow is doing torture to this. Let's straighten him up. And what did they do? They brought it out and pulled his legs and make it straight. Now, mind you, it is made out of metal. And they straightened it out and it became straight. And they made it stand. It was falling again and again. So kept the box behind it to make it stand. That very moment they hear that the sage is coming. The saint is coming back after the bath. Now they are trying to fix it into the box. It is not getting in. They are trying, and by that time the sage just threw it into the bag and just, what happened? The saint asked, what happened? Nothing. Why my bag is like this? We don't know. Okay, fine, no problem. Okay, so you wanted to give me food, so I have a ritual to do and then only I can eat the food. What's the ritual? Now, I have a small little kanari like Laddu Gopal in my box. I feed it first, thereafter I will eat it. I say, okay, go ahead. Now when he is trying to bring out the box, the Kanaji is flattened out and he is beyond the box now. Now he is looking at it for the first time. What happened to Kanaji? The Laddu Gopal is now straight. Now think of in your house, you kept a Laddu Gopal and now he's standing straight. What would you think? Like, what happened to you? Now he's looking at them like, who did this to it? He said, what did we do? Who made him straight like this? First they said, we don't know. No, you both were here. And it is not even possible to straighten out that metal. Who did that then in this between? Then finally they said, we don't know. We just looked into your box. We saw that he might be feeling bad and he was with his hand. He was saying, please help me. So we straightened him out. What would you think the saint will do? Who is the saint here in this case? Is the saint who was carrying that Kanaji in the box forever, taking care of it, feeding it, everything, or the one who felt, oh, so Kanaji ke pair tede ho gaye, thode seedhe kar दूं. Which one is better? Who is a better bhakt here? Because they did not apply logic. If they would have applied logic, they would think, hey, metal ko kaun seedha kar sakta hai? Like, how can I bend a metal with my hand? Not possible, right? But he simply did that, and more funnier than that, he accepted. So, Leela kiski hai? Did the Leela means the milkmaids did the Leela, or it was Kanaji who did the Leela, accepting, okay, so you want me to be straight, right? Okay, do that. उसी तरीके से रेवती जी, when I'm coming back to your thing, when you say कि कहीं नजर तो नहीं लग जाएगी, what do you think he will do? it will also fall like, okay, appear like it is sick now. Why? Because it exactly feels the way you feel it. That's the connectivity of the divinity that we create through our relationship with God. It's not how I do the puja. It's not what mantra do I chant. It's not about what I speak about it. It's how I feel about it. The emotional connection that we have with our divinity or the deity creates the miracles in our lives. And whether you can give time to it or not, give your emotions to it, the right ones. And someday you will see it will fall off to a side. Then you say, what happened? Oh, nazar lag gayi hogi. That's simple magic. तो रेवती जी, भक्त के भाव से भगवान पिघल जाता है, भक्त के प्रेम में भगवान बंध जाता है. Or else who will buy, who would tie it, who would keep it, who would, वो कहते हैं ना, there is a song in our local language, it's a bhava retu bandha, means you are tied with the bhav itself. Bhakati re chanda means you are tied, your legs are tied in the bhakti. So you can only be tied through this. So when you have these kind of feelings, I could say, what could have been a better one? इंसानों के लिए इतना कुछ करके देख लिए, क्या हुआ? We did so many things throughout our life. We keep on doing and we will keep on doing. No problem with that. But what happened? अब सोचो, एक इंसान कभी सीधा हुआ है आपके बात से, लेकिन कान्हा जी सीधे हो गए. So what do you think? Whom you should be, at least for a moment, connecting with that, for that moment. And that moment should be your divine moment. Then how beautiful it is, like when you even think in those lines. I say nothing could have been better than that. When you feel like, arey, jaise abhi, like Deepika ji was saying, like, okay, how would the God feel like? Okay, oh, he must be so sad. So that's the feeling of a divine person who actually is able to feel like, oh, what can I do? And these beautiful moments, that's what I call as Leela. He was not doing it in some Dwapar Yuga. It is doing right now, here, with you, in your house, might be within you. Or else who will give you that idea even to say that, अरे क्यों ऐसे घूर रही है? Who do you tell that? Who? There must be somebody, like, because you don't even know what your next thought is going to be. So who is sending you the thoughts? It must be the one who is doing the Leela and it is just whispering into your ears. क्यों घूर रही है? And that very moment, oh, why I'm looking at it, nazar lag jayegi. So whose Leela is all this entirely?
And their clothes, I've been making different clothes for them. I just feel, oh my God, they look so pretty.
No, you say, oh my God, oh my God, looks pretty. They're the same words you are repeating again and again.
And for the first time, last 5 years, I've been wanting a temple in the house, and I finally got it here. So this is their house, it's not mine. But for
That's a good way, because Revati ji, I know लोग अपने लिए घर बना लेते हैं, भगवान के लिए घर नहीं होता.
नहीं, ये उन्हीं का घर है अभी.
The
मैं रह
moment
रही
you
हूँ,
say ये घर ही उन्हीं का है, मेरे लिए छोटा सा जगह दे दो,
मेरे लिए दिया
that
है.
day you find divinity in your house.
तो वही है. I mean, I don't think it's exactly the way I'm saying it, that it is their house. I mean, we've come here and we are staying here. So first time this is happening, that घर की तुलसी, घर के flowers I'm able to do. And I just feel that is it's a dream come true for me, that I'm able to, I hardly buy flowers now from outside.
That's grace.
Yeah, it
वो
is
कहता है
grace.
क्यों तुम्हें तकलीफ? So why you should go through all this? Well, let me have.
Even bel patta, I'm getting every day at home.
Wow.
Even if it is so tiny, I'm getting it. I'm getting tulsi every day at home. It is unthinkable for me. This is not. I'm
Especially if
living
people know where you live.
I'm living in a dream world. I mean, I feel I'm just so blessed all the time and I tell my God whatever I want to tell in the morning when I get up. And then I don't care after that. I just feel they're there. They'll manage. They'll manage to take care. So
When he has managed the entire creation, what is me?
yeah, what am I? Nothing. So abhi hua kya hai? I know this is on YouTube and I do hope my children don't watch it. But yeah. Yeah, because I'm going to say something. So the whole idea is that भगवान हमारे ब्रह्मस्थान में बैठे हैं, तो वो बीच में है. So coming, going, though they say they don't believe, but I'm sure when they get a new car or a new thing, they do break a coconut, you know. So ये atheism छोड़ दे बाजू में, मतलब somewhere they do believe that there is a God.
See, you cannot not believe.
Yeah, you cannot not believe. But anyway, उनको कहना है मुझे कि we don't believe, तो forget it, it's okay. So इधर भगवान है बीच में. Now, see my luck that as a mother, it's in the middle of the house. So coming, going, they have
Anyways, they have to see it.
no choice, zero choice, but to see my भगवान. Like it or leave it, because वो इतने सुंदर है मेरे भगवान कि उनकी भी दृष्टि से कुछ नहीं तो सुंदर तो लगेंगे ही. सो देखो भाई एक बार, एंड कुछ भी करो, भगवान के सामने आते तो जूते निकल ही जाते हैं.
हाँ.
ये है एथिज्म. यू वांट टू शो मी दैट यू डोंट बिलीव. ये है. आई मीन,
That's beautiful.
हाउ डज, आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड दिस पार्ट ऑफ एथिज्म, दैट यू रिमूव योर शूज व्हेन यू सी गॉड. क्या होता है, you know? And so they don't have a choice, but by compulsion or by grace or by want, which they don't want to tell me that they do believe, देख रहे हैं रोज. And I'm so thrilled about it that मुझे कुछ कहने की, बोलने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. आते जाते उनको भगवान खुद ही दर्शन दे देते हैं. तो अभी उनकी मर्जी, उनको जो करना है करे. किसी दिन उनको. And I'm telling you, Mahadev, secretly, na, I have this feeling. That's why I'm saying I hope they don't watch this at all. मुझे ना secretly लगता है कि when they are passing from there, no, they actually pray. मुझे
They
ऐसे
do.
लगता है. मुझे
You
ऐसे
cannot
लगता
escape
है
that
मुझे.
path, you know.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I feel like that.
आप मानो या ना मानो, ऐसे दिखाए ना दिखाए, अंदर तो झुक ही
हाँ,
जाते
ऐसे
हैं.
ही
They
है.
will bow down at least within,
या वो
even
मुझे
if they don't
बोलते
show.
नहीं है, लेकिन they are, I'm telling you, they are being blessed also. I'm very sure about it.
See, when a mother says that, it
अभी
becomes
मदर
a
सुधर
very
गई ना. मदर पिछले मदर सुधर गई तो बच्चे सुधरेंगे थोड़ा. So anyway, thank you, Mahadev. I just
Thank you.
felt it was a very foolish question, but it's not so foolish, so it's okay.
No, it is not foolish. It is filled with that bhakti bhav ja kehte hain.
Thank you.
Why not?
I wish everybody from this divine family can come here someday and visit my house and my temple. I'll really be very happy. Anybody coming to Bombay,
Whose
please
house?
come.
Whose temple?
मेरा नहीं, उनका घर.
हाँ, so you should tell that, no?
उनका
पार्टी
नाम
बदल दे
भी
रहे हो,
दिया
like you
है.
are changing that again.
No. Never, no chance.
Okay.
Thank you, Mahadev.
चलो, thank you, रेवती जी. अदिति जी.
Am I audible now?
Yes, when you say that, now I am able to hear it.
हर हर महादेव.
हर हर महादेव.
अगर महादेव बहुत लेट हो गया है तो shall I ask next time?
No, I think like
What
I
you
have time.
say?
People
Okay,
have
okay.
something called as a leave button. They can.
Okay, महादेव. So last time के जो pending questions है उनको मैं continue करती हूँ.
Okay.
So the question was like कि एक सेंटेंस है जिसको मुझे ठीक से समझना है महादेव.
Okay.
जो बहुत बार कहा जाता है कि शक्ति के बिना शिव शव है.
Okay.
तो नहीं, मेरे अंडरस्टैंडिंग को जितना समझ में आया महादेव, तो मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है इस स्टेटमेंट से कि मे बी ये सेंटेंस ऐसे कहने के लिए है कि शक्ति के बिना शिव शव के जैसे होंगे. नॉट द शव, मीन्स वो शव नहीं होंगे, शव के जैसे होंगे, ऐसे शायद वो कहना चाहते हैं क्या. ये फर्स्ट मेरा थॉट, मीन्स मुझे ये पूछना है. और दूसरी बात मुझे ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा है महादेव कि जब फेमिनाइन एनर्जी वाज नॉट एग्जिस्ट, जब सत्पुरुष ने जब अनमैनिफेस्टेड चीजों को मैनिफेस्ट किया, तब शक्ति भी उसके बाद में, जब शक्ति का एग्जिस्टेंस था। और शिव, जिसको हम अजन्मा कहते हैं, तो जिनकी मृत्यु भी नहीं हो सकती है, तो शव कहाँ से,
ओके
शव कैसे होगा?
ओके
और अगर ऐसा है तो महादेव मीन्स, वे जब सती माँ ने खुद को जला लिया, और मीन्स उनका जब वो उस रूप का वहां पे जब लय हो गया, तब शिव को मीन्स घोर दुख हुआ, और वो रोए, और फिर बाद में डीप मेडिटेशन में चले गए। तो इसमें ये जो मेडिटेशन में चले गए हैं, तो इसमें ये कहाँ दिखाई देता है कि वो शव के जैसे बन गए? और
ओके
महादेव, ये आइडिया मुझे समझ में नहीं आता है कि कोई ऐसे कह रहा है कि शक्ति के बिना शिव शव है। अगर शिव शव बन जाएंगे तो
तो
क्या
शिव
कुछ
के बिना
एग्जिस्ट
शक्ति
रहेगा?
क्या है?
नहीं महादेव, मीन्स अगर शिव शव हो जाएंगे तो कुछ जीवित, मीन्स कुछ
ओके
एग्जिस्टेंस रहेगा?
ओके so this entire talk revolves around like what if the exact meaning of जो कहा जाता है the
हाँ।
sentence
हम्म।
कि शक्ति के बिना शिव शव है.
शव।
Okay, so I believe like you have time if I speak on it.
या आई
Okay,
लाइक टाइम।
good. So I can say that like when it is said like people keep on saying that Shiv के बिना sorry शक्ति के बिना शिव शव है, so they don't understand one specific thing because it is actually a profound question to be asked. And if you really want to understand the answers of it,
Yeah.
you have to go especially to the tantric philosophy of it. तांत्रिक फिलोसफी एंड नॉन डुअल साइविज्म जो कहते हो आप जिसे, अद्वैत साइविज्म जिसे कहते हो, इफ यू गो एंड रिफ्लेक्ट इन दैट यू विल फाइंड द ट्रू मीनिंग व्हाट इट मींस व्हेन यू से सती के बिना शिव शव होता है. सो इफ यू रियली वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट वी हैव टू गो टू द रेफरेंस ऑफ दोज टू थिंग्स. So shall I refer all those two things and
Please.
narrate to you like what it exactly means? Okay, so let's do that. Here, if you look at the word Shiva, so there are three things, right? Shiva, Shava, and Shakti. So these are the three main elements that we are speaking of here, right?
Yes.
So here, when we call as Shiva, Shiva here means pure consciousness or the ultimate stillness, or you can call it as the unmoved, जिसको हिलाया नहीं जा सकता, means the one who cannot be moved, or the unmoved mover, the one who cannot be moved yet moving. Okay, so इसको statement की तरह पहले समझो, then I will narrate it so that it becomes clearer to all of us. Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay. So शिव का क्या हो गया? Pure consciousness, ultimate stillness, and the unmoved mover. शव, शव का मतलब क्या है? A corpse, lifeless, or an inert object that has no movement in it. That's what science says, right? शव का मतलब क्या हो गया? A corpse, a dead body, a lifeless being जिसका अंदर प्राण नहीं है. तीसरा है inert. Then what is शक्ति? शक्ति को हम डिफाइन कर सकते हैं as the dynamic energy. It can be movement, it can be creation, it can be the force of manifestation. Agreed?
Yes.
Okay. So यहां पे हमने तीन शब्दों का डेफिनेशन कर दिया कि शिव क्या है, शव क्या है और शक्ति क्या है. Now this statement again coming back, without Shakti, Shiva is like a corpse. What we say is still Shiva becomes something like which is still, passive and incapable of expression. Okay, यहां पे ऐसे मीनिंग लेके जाते हैं, बट आई विल नैरेट इट इन ए वेरी वेरी elaborate way so that again just like last time you will be clear with the concept what the atma was, just like we did last time. But when we say this statement it does not mean that Shiva lacks power. It means that the consciousness without energy cannot express, manifest or create. इसीलिए शिव को एक जगह पे कहा जाता है कि शव का मतलब जो द क्रिएशन नहीं कर सकता वो आगे जाके, इट जस्ट रिमेन्स एज ए स्टिल एम्बॉडी विदाउट मूवमेंट. ओके, बट जैसे मैंने कहा, वी आर गोइंग टू डाइव डीप इनटू दैट, विल नॉट जस्ट स्टॉप एट द सुपरफिशियल लेवल्स. सो हियर शिवा, यू अग्री दैट एज यू सेड दैट शिव तो स्वयं सबके प्राण में बसते हैं, right? That's what you said, like if Shiva becomes a corpse, then what would happen to the entire creation, right? So Shiva, we can say that he is the life force of everything. When we say that Shiva is the life force everything, but we ask how? देखो तंत्र क्या करता है, वो प्रश्न पूछेगा. We say that Shiva is the life force, yes, but how? Then we will, it has given the answers in that also, that you can take it in this way, like Shiva is the life force of everything, but only when united with Shakti does that life force take a form, rhythm and vibration. जब शिव और शक्ति के साथ है तभी वो लय और वाइब्रेशन एंड फॉर्म बना सकता है. थिंक ऑफ इट इन दिस एग्जाम्पल वे. एक एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं और सोचते हैं इसे. जस्ट थिंक ऑफ शिवा एज द स्पेस, द ओपन स्पेस. ओके, सो इफ शिवा बिकम्स द ओपन स्पेस, शक्ति इज द मूवमेंट इन दिस स्पेस. ओके, एंड टुगेदर दे बिकेम space and movement. What would you call that? Space and time. Are you understanding that? If Shiva is the space and Shakti is the movement, when they combine, they become space and time. How is the entire world creation is going on? Space and time. So let's dive deep further, because that's where the philosophies of Tantra comes and non-dualist Saivism comes into play. So together they became the space-time.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But before going ahead, I want to clear one thing. कि जैसे आपने कहा कि जो आगे की जो क्रिएशन के लिए शिव के साथ शक्ति का यूनाइट में वो दोनों होना जरूरी है. बट महादेव, बिफोर शक्ति का जब पहले जब फेमिनाइन एनर्जी came into existence.
Okay.
तब तो शिव he was complete.
Okay.
And it means हम लोगों ने जैसे जाना कि सतपुरुष was a complete being to manifest all those things.
Okay.
But after certain creations, जब स्त्री की शक्ति का या फिर शक्ति की जरूरत आ गई, तब वो दोनों यूनाइट होकर आगे का क्रिएशन हो गया. Am I right?
ओके.
तो हमारे जैसे हम कहते हैं कि शिव का वास सब चीजों में है,
ओके,
तो शव में भी है.
यस.
ऐसा कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता है कि जिसमें शिव नहीं है.
Okay, so let's understand this way. Have there been days when you are too tired?
Yes.
I don't say you are tired. I said you are tired.
Exhausted.
And you just fell on the bed. And when you fell on the bed, somebody calls, please bring me a glass of water. So what do you say then?
नहीं होता.
अब क्या नहीं, आप एक पर्टिकुलर यूज करते हो एक वर्ड, तुम खुद कर लो, मुझ में अभी शक्ति नहीं है. What did you say? क्या आप कहे कि नहीं मेरे अंदर प्राण नहीं है?
नहीं.
आपने ये क्या, मुझ में अभी इतनी शक्ति नहीं है कि मैं ये कर सकूं. जब शिव से शक्ति पृथक होती है, does that mean Shiva is dead? No. It's just like we feel in one way. I am giving you a very simplified answer जो हमको समझ में आता है कि मुझ में अभी शक्ति नहीं. I don't want that. I don't have that feeling of doing it. Because anything that I start doing it is movement. What is Shakti? Shakti is the movement. What is Shiva without Shakti? Ultimate stillness. मैं ऐसे ही पढ़ा रहूंगा थोड़ी देर, मरा नहीं हूं, पढ़ा, but I don't want to do anything. मेरी इच्छा नहीं है. There is no more. इच्छा नहीं बची कुछ करने के लिए. इच्छा कैसे प्रकट होती है? Through desiring something else. Desiring something else means that is not with me. I will think about that. That becomes a desire. When that desire appears, I will run behind that. That becomes Shakti. But I don't have a desire now. I don't have a Shakti now. What will I do? अगर कोई कहे कि अरे अरे अदिति, you are not able to bring that glass of water, you are dead. Will you agree? They were like, no, I'm not dead. The only thing is I don't want to do it because I don't feel like I have that power now within me to do that. So, ये concept clear है अब तक? Because when I go and talk more and more about that, that will become more and more clear. Okay. So, यहाँ तक तो clear है ना कि अदिति अभी भी जिंदा है. शक्ति नहीं है का मतलब ये नहीं कि उस अदिति चली गई. The only thing is उसकी अभी इच्छा नहीं है, उसकी वो शक्ति नहीं है वो कार्य करने के लिए. That's why I say, like, if Shakti is away from Shiva, the creation stops. He does not create anything. क्योंकि इच्छा शक्ति ही नहीं है. जब इच्छा शक्ति नहीं होगा, can there be a creation? No.
No.
In order to create anything, first you should have that desire to create it. Right? Okay. So moving ahead. So ये दोनों मिलके क्या बनते हैं? Space and time बन जाते हैं. So in this sense, Shiva is the life in its unmanifest form. But life as we know it, like, who we call that is alive? We'll check the breath, we'll check the pulse. And if a thing is constantly changing, it is breathing, it is pulsating, and it is evolving. We call that life is something that breathes, pulsates, evolves. And it arises only when Shakti stirs Shiva into expression. ये तभी हो सकता है, ये breath pattern, ये pulsating और evolving ये तभी हो सकता है जब आपको जीने की इच्छा हो. Are you getting that? Yes. If I have a desire to live, all these things will continue to happen within me. But if I don't even have a desire to live, what do people do? वो शरीर में रहते हुए भी मृत समान हो जाते हैं. So what is keeping us alive? It is not just the pranavayu. The desire to take the breath again, that is something is keeping us alive. So what is Shakti? Shakti is nothing else but the desire of Shiva manifested. Okay? यहाँ तक clear हुआ?
Yes.
Let's move ahead. So let us understand now more deeper about that. How is actually Shiva and Shakti not different from each other? It's just like I'm sitting here and I have a thought, I have a desire. Similarly, Shiva's thought and desires are something that are called as Shakti. Let's take the classic example of fire and heat. Fire without heat is meaningless. आप बोलोगे, is there a fire without a heat?
Yes.
And nowadays technologically advanced things are coming up, so don't worry. वो कुछ भी बना सकते हैं. But let's say you have traveled to a snowy land, means जहाँ पे बर्फ गिर रहा है. And you have just light up the bonfire. Let's say the kind of fire that you have built in the space, जहाँ पे बर्फ गिर रहा है, वहाँ पे जो fire बनाया है, और वही fire को आप राजस्थान में, the similar kind of fireplace you create in Rajasthan. Fire का size और fire are same, but the feeling of the fire, is it same?
No.
Because in the cold weather, you might put your hand near to the fire and even put your hand and come back. Itni sardi hai.
Yes.
And in the same case, the similar kind of, let's say I have a box. In that box, I put the fire in Shimla when it is like snow. And I take the same box in Rajasthan in the mid of the summer. And what do you think? What would change? It is not the fire that changed, the environmental change that has affected the entirety. That means the fire's intrinsic quality is there, but it is actually manifesting based on the environment that it is. So how would Shiva and Shakti manifest for us? Based on the kind of climatic thing that we have created within our own selves. समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes, sir.
Why people experience God and why they don't experience God. It's about creating that environment, that conducive environment through which they express themselves in an easier way. So fire and heat. Fire without heat is meaningless. Heat is the Shakti of fire. Shiva is fire. Without heat, it is lifeless. It is Shava. समझ में आ रहा है? It's just like something has frozen so deep.
Yes, yes.
Even if you put it into the fire, it is nothing happening to it. Right? So that
Yes,
is
yes.
how it is one example. Second example, let's take it. What would be a better example now? Fire and is very common. The second one would be, yes, let's take the example of a magnet then. Magnet and its field of magnetism. So let's say like this, the magnet is Shiva, has the potential. Its magnetic field is Shakti, is what it acts. मतलब उसकी जो परिधि है, खींचने की परिधि, that is the power, that is Shiva. Now a magnet without its pulling power, what would you call it? Would you call it a magnet anymore? वो लोहे का टुकड़ा बन जाता है. But what changed in that magnet that it is now called as an iron? The energy called as the pulling. Means the pull that it had, the magnetism that it had. When it is no more there, it is no more a magnet, it is just an iron piece. Once the magnetism again is created in it, what happens? Again it becomes a magnet, not just an iron piece. समझ में आ रहा है?
Yes. Sure.
So now moving to one more, one of the my favorite one would be, might be for many people, thought. The pure, silent awareness, when you sit in deep meditation, like this pure awareness, that's Shiva. But the thoughts, the emotions, and the expressions that come either in the stillness or the ones that break the stillness is Shakti. When Shakti is associated with Shiva, it helps Shiva to meditate. When the same Shakti is running away from Shiva, it makes even Shiva to pull a deadlock and create an angry power of it. Means what? इतने सारे चीजें आप देखते हो. Do you really know what that means? वो ये कहा जाता है. Like if you look at the entire story of Sati and Shiva, if you look at it and if you understand the deeper meaning of it, it is so beautiful and so typically very different actually. अगर आप देखो, let's say you are the Shiva and your mind is the Shakti, because that's what it is running here and there everywhere.
Yes,
Mind is a constant movement. Shakti is constant movement. Shiva is absolute stillness. Atman is absolute stillness. Thought is constant energy moving. Right?
Yes.
Think of this. When do you get irritated? When you want to sit silently, but the mind is running towards something else. Right? And when this is not with you, you are irritated, agitated, and even angry. But if it is sitting with you silently, you can meditate absolutely. Have you ever seen when Sati went out and she was burning, Shiva was happily meditating? No. What does that mean? That means, again coming back to our own selves, if the body wants to sit in stillness and the mind is not in alignment with the body, we cannot meditate.
Yes.
But आपने ये देखा होगा, when Parvati is in the Himalayas, Shiva बड़े आराम से आंख बंद करके बैठते. So when your mind is with you, you can absolutely meditate. And that's how you feel Shiva. What is Shiva is all about? It's pure consciousness without the distractions of the mind. Got it? So thoughts, के हिसाब से भी अगर समझना है तो if you are absolutely
Hmm.
still and the mind is still, you feel the shivatva and you are absolutely feeling thriving in your experiences. But if it is pulling you somewhere here and there, you are not able to sit. You are agitated, agitated. That's how you feel like, अरे थोड़ा शांत होके बैठ, कितना परेशान करता है ना? So that is one way of looking at again the same story of it.
Hmm.
Then if you look at the tantric aspect, that जिसको अर्धनारेश्वर कहते हो आप, right? In Tantra, Shiva and Shakti are actually never separate. We look at them as two entities, as Shiva and Parvati. But when you look at the Ardhanareshwar Swarupa, what does that indicate? They're actually not two, they appear as two. वो दो हैं नहीं, दिखते दो हैं. Example, there is one sun, there are two pots filled with water. And when you look at two pots, you will see two suns in that. But in
Can I
reality,
ask something, Mahadev, here?
yeah, go ahead.
तो जैसे आपने कहा कि अर्धनारीश्वर में या हमेशा ही वो द्वैत नहीं है, हमेशा अद्वैत है. तो जब सत्पुरुष का जब वो महादेव, सॉरी, आई एम अगेन एंड अगेन आई एम कमिंग बैक टू सत्पुरुष, जब वो मैनिफेस्टेशन जब उन्होंने उनका हुआ, तो ऐसे बोलते हैं कि एनर्जी फील्ड में जैसे व्हेन यू कैन कॉल और अदर यू कांट कॉल एनीथिंग, सो हम लोग उसको सत्पुरुष, हम लोग अनामी पुरुष ऐसे करके हम
we just
लोगों ने
gave a
उसको
name to that.
समझा.
Okay.
या तो महादेव, उनका भी जो अनमैनिफेस्टेड या मैनिफेस्टेड जो भी डिजायर था, वो तो वो डिजायर ही तभी तो उसमें भी शक्ति होगा ना.
Yes, that's why it is said that it is actually never
ओनली
separate from
फॉर्म
it.
में नहीं था, बट शक्ति
Yes, that's all. It is just like the seed. What you are asking is a very simple question actually. It appears to be complicated, but the answer is very simple. Look at this. If you look at a seed, does it have a tree within it or not?
Yes.
But when you look at it, it has not manifested itself into that tree. That's why we are not able to see that in this form. Similarly, in the seed form, Shiva and Shakti are one. But when they manifest themselves as two different beings, we see them as two different beings. But in the Ardhanareshwar Swarupa, what did they showcase to you? They just says that we are just part of that one being. Just appearing as two. So this, if you understand this thing of Ardhanareshwar, the form of half Shiva and half Shakti, it symbolizes that actually. Consciousness, Shiva, energy, Shakti are two sides of the same absolute reality. They are not separate, they are not different. Now, we will go to the merging of everything of this. When we say Shiv Shab ho jayega, it does not mean that in literal words that Shiv ki mrityu ho jati hai. But without Shakti, he does not move, he does not create, he does not manifest. He is absolutely a pure being, but not becoming anything after that. Life, as we all experience it, it requires a dynamic movement, a dynamic interplay of stillness, Shiva, and movement as Shakti. Because stillness gives birth to movement, movement gives form to stillness. Now Shiv और Shakti जब दोनों साथ है, it is when we say Shiva, Shakti के बिना शिव शव है. In one way, I can say that Shiva for a moment goes in the delusion that Shakti has left. He goes into a trance and acts as a mad being. What happens to all of us? When we have lost or thought ourselves that we are powerless, Shakti के बिना शिव शव है. when we look at our own selves and we say we don't have that much of power to change anything, you act as a Shava. You don't do anything. You feel like you cannot create, you cannot bring anything into form. But in your case, let's talk the same thing. Do you have a soul? Do you have a desire of the soul, or the desire of the mind, or the mind, or the consciousness? Let's say, keeping it simple, soul, consciousness. Do you have that or not?
Yes.
But can I say Aditi is too? Because she is the soul and she has a consciousness.
No.
The consciousness itself is a part of it. Just like which part of your body is you and which part of your body is not you.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
नहीं है ना? So similarly, in a case where, why is it said? The final statement, let me give you Aditi. जब हम ये कहते हैं कि शिव के बिना, शक्ति के बिना शिव शव है, उसका मतलब, और ये सिंपल होता है कि if I forget the consciousness, because for me, if this is Shiva, the consciousness is the Shakti. Without that consciousness, I think myself of no use. I am nothing. That feeling of that I am nothing and I have lost something, that illusion makes you appear as a human, not God. And in this moment, if your consciousness reaches to its pinnacle and you realize that you are that Shiva that you are speaking of, then what will happen? So हम अभी शव की तरह पड़े हुए हैं क्योंकि हमारी जो कॉन्शियस रूपी जो शक्ति है वो हमारे साथ नहीं दे रही. So what are we trying to do? We are trying to bring back that consciousness so that we could realize what my truth is all about. And the moment you realize, what will happen? Your consciousness and your soul are not two different. It will become one, and then you will know, oh, so this is me. So the play of consciousness.
How it will happen?
How it will happen? Shiva कुछ देर के लिए पगला जाता है, like he will go run here and there. And then finally, all the things that we are doing, all these sessions, all these talks, what are we doing exactly? We are trying to evolve that consciousness to realize that you are that ultimate Shiva, because without that consciousness and illusion that you are living in, you think you are not. So what are you without your consciousness? You are living, you are breathing, you are eating, you are doing everything, but you are unaware of your true being. You are unaware of your true self. And just think of this. Just like the fire forgets its heat, you have forgotten that you are the divine. Fire without heat is useless. You, without your realization of the consciousness, you are the ultimate divine, you just become a human being. And with your consciousness awakening, you immediately become the divine. अब बताओ समझ में आया शक्ति के बिना शिव क्यों शव है? हमारे consciousness के बिना, why are we human? Why we want to evolve the consciousness? So that once the consciousness develops, I will come to the realization that I am the ultimate. Till then, I am lying like a dead corpse. And that word lying has two meanings. Either I'm saying the lie that I'm a corpse, or I'm just lying down like a corpse. Okay? Yes, so when we talk about this Shiva and Shakti, it has a very typical meaning of I without my consciousness. Yes. I will exactly experience what Shiva experienced. I without my peace within myself, I will exactly experience what Shiva has experienced. I without having the realization that I am that ultimate, it is exactly how Shiva must have felt. And that's why he left everything and ran into the deserts. है ना? Yes. So ऐसे हैं हमारे शिव.
Yes. हर हर महा
Okay.
Yes, Mahadev.
So thank you, Aditi ji. Or you have any further questions?
Hey, Mahadev, but next time we'll
Okay.
continue.
So anyways, we will
Already
have
too
to
Yes.
close the
Thank
session.
you.
It's already
Har har
11:06.
Mahadev.
I could see already some consciousness is already running away. Some Shivas are becoming already showers. So the complete meditation without any trials. I sometimes feel like time is the best medicine to meditate, because sometimes you might see like people are sitting, they say I cannot meditate, but after some time, so झपकियां जब लगने लगे, oh wow, that's a beautiful way of meditating. One person was sitting in front of Gautam Buddha and he was just like Gautam Buddha said, hey, what are you doing? You're sleeping? No. I am meditating in such a joy that my body is dancing while I'm meditating. People will find answers anyways. Okay. So thank you, Aditi ji. Kritarth ji, कहाँ थे आप? Let me unmute you.
प्रणाम गुरुजी।
प्रणाम कृतार्थ जी, कैसे हैं?
बस ठीक हूँ।
अच्छा, ठीक है। ओके।
थैंक यू अदिति जी फॉर योर क्वेश्चन। बहुत कुछ जानने मिला आज।
कौन सा?
अभी जो सवाल पूछा।
अच्छा, ओके।
और गुरुजी, क्या वो पूरा 104 श्लोक आप समझा पाओगे? आई एम नॉट आस्किंग योर एबिलिटी, पर आप समझाओगे शायद? अभी जैसे
Which one?
समझा तो 4-5 साल
The
अभी शिव शक्ति वाला।
Oh, because if you keep on speaking about Shiv Shakti, na Kritarth ji, देखो उन्हीं से पूरी रचना, अगर if we think like they are the ultimate and they have created everything, can you count all the stars is the question. Science says they have counted it. I said of which sky? कौन से आसमान का गिनती रखा है आपने? आपने कह दिया कि आपने गिन लिया है. Okay, even though if you count that, how many are there? That many stories can be told about Shiva and Shakti, because every creation, if they have done it, that many stories are there, that many expressions will be there, and that many ways of bringing it out will also be there. And I am absolutely convinced that if I start speaking, I will speak a multiple array of things about that again, because I feel like you, आपने देखा है ना, एक बच्चा होता है जो, राइट, स्मॉल लिटिल किड, जिसको बड़ा पसंद आता है कुछ पर्टिकुलर चीज करने का. किसी को बारिश में नाचने का पसंद है, किसी को नदी में कूदने का पसंद होता है, किसी को चॉकलेट खाने का पसंद होता है. सो एवरी किड हैज ए वन ऑफ ए काइंड ऑफ ए डिजायर, राइट. और जैसे ही वो उसको मिलता है वो पागल हो जाता है. ये वही है, द मोमेंट यू आस्क अबाउट शिवा एंड शक्ति, पागल हो जाता है. और पागल कुछ भी कह सकता है. बट इन दैट वे यू विल फाइंड एक्चुअली, वो कहते हैं ना, कैमरा में लोग कहते हो कि स्टैंड चीज, वो फोटो कैसे आता है और कैंडिड फोटोज कैसे आते हैं? सच बताना, मजा किस में आता है? कैंडिड फोटोज में. व्हाई? कि बिकॉज दे वर नॉट अवेयर a funny picture came out. Yesterday something, I was seeing a picture and looking at the picture, it is written below that for 2 hours I was thinking, what kind of a weird hairstyle is this? After some time, I only realized that there was a coconut tree behind his head. So so as many ways as many possible. Actually, आपने जो कहा कि it's the विज्ञान भैरव तंत्र, it has like, I don't know, like I keep on thinking about restarting that. Only 10th तक गए हैं क्या? So we have gone to the 10th process only, right? 9th or 10th?
9 है, 9 अवेलेबल है यूट्यूब चैनल पे.
ओके, सो उतना तक ही है, जितना उसमें है उतना ही है. उसके बाद वी एक्चुअली हैव केप्ट pause to that. But there is something very, very important coming up now. I will be soon, I'll be sharing that with the entire group. And what I am going to do is like what we have never done yet. So I would be posting that. I just shared with Haribhai the document. So Haribhai, when you went through the document, do you really think that it is going to be something? And that is just a part of my entire design that I'm doing. So,
Yeah, actually, I'm so excited now.
because that's what it is going to be, because now the gears are going to change.
Yes.
So Kritaji, like what we exactly am going to do is, it's too early to even disclose now, but I'm still working on that. Once it comes out, might be towards next week, we'll be speaking about that. There, it is not only the role of me. Now, every one of you being here will play a role in what? In doing what I was doing. So that will take this entire group to another realm altogether. It's like a push or a jump, what you call as a quantum jump, right? Quantum leap. So that's what I'm thinking of. So I'm coming up with the blueprint. I'm working on that already. And few things happened recently, and that have given birth to this idea that now this is time to bring that to this thing, because there are so many things to be taught, but there are so much of little time left out. So I'm trying to do all that, but most probably a completely designed program will be coming in front of you, where I can say in one statement, where you learn by teaching, not by listening. So this could be a simple way of putting that. Learn by teaching का मतलब समझना चाहिए आपको, rather than, because मुझे समझ में आता है कि when I know like some beautiful souls are there, like some Haribhai started, there is one small little group which we call as a family. In that he started posting his childhood photos. Then there is a series of childhood photos being posted. So when I look at that and I say, wow, so this is a beautiful way of expressing yourself, right? Then I remember there are small little kids, those who used to act like a teacher when they are a kid. ऐसा कौन कौन है जो बचपन में एक बोर्ड के पास खड़े हो जाते थे और एक पेन लेके पढ़ाते थे अपने गुड्डे गुडियों को. But while teaching them, you were able to remember what you were learning. आपके स्कूल की पढ़ाई आप उनको पढ़ाते पढ़ाते आपको याद रह जाते थे. Specifically, Kritaji, like from the place I come from, people have an accent when they speak English. You will clearly make out like from which region these people belong to because of the particular accent that they speak of. But if you listen to my voice, you will not be able to really believe like, okay, so he has an accent of that particular zone. Rather, you can think I am from a north side rather than from a particular area where they use speak English in a very typical way. Okay. I'll tell you how I learned. And I'm going to implement the same thing with you now.
What?
I still remember, I would like this particular incident, I'm still able to remember because I don't know why my father put me into the English medium school, because I was the only kid who was going to the English medium school. None was there in my home to speak with me in that language. So whom should I speak with? I still remember this particular day when I decided how I am going to learn English, because everybody in the school were speaking in a different dialect and I didn't had that. So I still remember it was raining. I was standing near a window holding it. I still remember the window is green and the window is still green. We have not changed it. And the bar is the same bar. It has not changed. That railings are still there. So I still remember I was holding that and looking at that, and it was raining. And when the rain drops fall, when the water is there, they fall and they bounce back, right? Then I saw the frog is jumping on that. So that was where my English lesson started with my own self. I started jabberish speaking anything that I could speak in English in that moment. Now, when I say this, Kritaji, kuch log sochte, why don't you stand by that window again and learn Telugu? So I still remember I was saying this. The rain drop is falling and it is making tap, tap, tap. The frog is jumping, tap, tap, tap. So these were my first languages of sentences that I started, and thereafter, whatever was happening, I was narrating that in English within myself. So that might have been the starting point of it. So similarly, I learned it by teaching it to myself. There are many people, those who have learned it by teaching to their gudda and goodies, means the dolls and that they had. Many would have pulled their siblings, sit down there, let me teach you today. That could be the way of teaching. And that's where I remembered and I said, why can't you learn? Why can't you become again that kid who learns by teaching rather than just by listening? But in this entire game, there will be two rules. The rule of the wisdom, the rule of the knowledge. Knowledge will speak, wisdom will listen. Because without listening, you cannot speak. For example, when you took birth, did you spoke first or you heard first?
Heard.
That's how you develop the language. So all these years you have heard. Now it's time to speak. But yes, this time I am going to guide you in a very, very, what do you call, meticulously designed pattern. Because generally I don't do that. And Haribhai knows it very well, because the moment I start referring to a particular PPT or I look at that and I speak, I will forget. Because my Shiva can't be bound in PPTs. And that's how it happens. So whatever is being coming now, so be ready for that, because one questionnaire will come to every one of us. What is your contribution is the question. What time can you devote? And then it will be revealed that what you are getting in back of it. Like, uske badle kya seekh rahe ho? What are you learning? What are you becoming? And more than that, I can say all these years of experience was one side. The experience that will happen from here on will be another thing altogether. So, वो कहते हैं ना कि evolution should happen. So, time to evolutionize, I believe. And this time we are not going to explore. We are going to explode. Means jumping to the next realm altogether. I know everybody might not jump along with the first instance itself. So don't get disheartened. Don't feel bad. It's just like some people are ready to jump right away and you are in the process of getting there. Because my list is quite long. My stories are quite long. My things that I'm going to teach is going to be quite long. So travels will be more, sessions will be more. All these things are going to take an enormous effort on my part, but I'm going to go do that. The only thing is, are you there? I'm asking every one of you. Are you there for that? Because I'm ready to do that, but are you willing to give that time? Are you willing to be in that space to learn all these things? Because, ek baat batao, nobody will teach you what I'm going to do. Because I don't want to die full. I want to die empty. What you call as die empty means अंदर कुछ रख के नहीं जाना है, सब दे देना है. But for that, are you really ready? So all these things is coming your way. And then it will be divided into zones. So east, west, north and south, India will be distributed. And those people will be heading some or other directions. That's part of Indian strategically what I am planning, like how I'll be guiding them. Then there are global leaders. When I say leaders, it is not a corporate leader, because they will be called as a particular sadhak, that they become the masters of that practices. So many things are coming. The only thing is, don't sleep off. When I say sleep off, I can say the word should be pronounced slip off. That's SLIP.
Okay.
So I am too excited, and when Haribhai has read that, he seems to be. So let's make it happen. But yes, I don't know, like, one more thing will be, the sessions will not be there as per your convenience. It might be early morning, it might be night, it might be, don't worry, in the mid of the day I cannot, because I will be somewhere else. So either it is early morning or night. So the entire things will be discussed, entire thing will be brought into picture. So we'll all of us, that's where I will also narrate why I came up with this. होता है ना कि at times you realize certain things that this is the time to do it. So that's what is coming up. So be ready, everyone. And I don't know, like Ritad, you might have a question, but I just took the liberty of you asking the question to talk on this, because I believe like this is very important, which I missed to discuss today. But are you all ready? Good. So because I'm going to work on that again and prepare something, because I never thought that I will start something called as Diksha. That's never in my cards. And this is not also that. But it is a part of that. Until and unless you go through this process, you cannot teach it further. That's the requirement. So you can understand what am I indicating to.
Yes.
Now I'm indicating about cloning myself, it seems, as you. Okay. So yeah, Krita ji, if you have any question, I will just stay back. Others can move out. If you have a question, I can answer you, because you have been patiently listening to me now.
Your grace will make all of us ready for this.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what.
Just need that.
See, I always feel like one thing, I don't know, like keep on saying that, like, when do a parent feels the most happiest and proud? When their kids become better than them, right?
Yes.
When do you think I will be?
When
When
we all will become
young
better
babies on
version
the
of us.
screen become that. है ना, ये जो छोटे छोटे बच्चे स्क्रीन पे दिखाई दे रहे हैं मुझे, जब ये वहां तक पहुंच जाए, when they reach to that space, I will be the most. और मुझे लगे कि why I came for, I did my work. Okay. So अभी कैसे कहे, in order to make my life coming here or me coming here worth, you have to take up. It's not me anymore, it's you. That would decide whether it was worth coming here or not. That level I'm going to. Okay. So further details will be coming up, because I will be working with Haribhai tomorrow. So like how to bring all those things into the being. Yeah, the good thing would be, it might dishearten some people, but Mahanirvan would be the first choice anyways. But the list is too long for me. I'm not talking about 1, 2, 5, 10 people. I'm talking about 64. And we will all know why we speak of 64. So that is a good indication for all of you. If you really have ever heard of me, you have ever heard what I speak of, the 64 number itself would tell you what the importance of it is. And the most amazing thing is, Haribhai's car number is 6464. He never knew that.
Both the cars, Maharaj.
Yeah, that's what I said. 6464. And he has two vehicles have the same number. Now he asks, why this number? Some things don't leave you, you know. Okay. So thank you, everyone. I'm too excited to bring that up. So I need your presence, your complete readiness for that is something that I look forward to. Okay. So thank you for your questions. Thank you for your patience to listen all this till it's already 11 past 11, like 30 minutes more than 11 by now. So thank you for burning your late night oil. And the US people, very good. It's a daytime for you. You might have already had your prepared your lunch or something by now, or no, not yet. So you go and prepare it. So that's why I should leave you. Okay. So till we come there to have food with you and have lunch with you, till then you go cook food for your family as well. Take care of it. And till we meet again, just a day is there in between. Monday, at least Sunday morning, we'll be meeting again. Let's see what comes up. If Sita shows up, what a better thing would be. Okay. So thank you so much. See you again soon. Aham Brahmasmi. Tattvamasi. Har Har Mahadev. बोलो बांके बिहारी लाल की जय। अब हमके बांके बिहारी नहीं बोल के सीधे बिहारी लाल की जय कह सकते, क्योंकि अगर ग्वालन उसको सीधे कर सकते तो हम तो कर ही सकते हैं। हाँ, थैंक यू सो मच।